For the first time in a long time, people are heading back to the theaters for this, a very special weekend that so many people have been looking forward to upon the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. And a lot of projections have this as being a $360 million global opening, the highest ever for an R-rated film. And probably by the next time that we talk about this, we're going to have more concrete numbers, and that could end up being adjusted. There has been some Disney hits, which this is going to be by all conceivable metrics, looking specifically at Inside Out 2, where that ended up blowing past projections. This could be one of those instances. And here's the thing, this is kind of a good news video when it comes to Marvel. Okay, I've been down on it like so many other people have because I used to be a fan of the MCU, probably before, had the official moniker of the MCU. Iron Man 1 is fantastic. I'm a big fan of just about everything in Phase 1. Phase 2 is when they lost me, and I've yet to return on that one. I'm not a fan of Deadpool, but I really do like me some Wolverine, okay? Remember the original Fox trilogy? Fond memories of the Wolverine, okay? Fond memories of Hugh Jackman. Even went to the theaters to see stupid X-Men Origins, okay? Last time that we had Deadpool and Wolverine on the screen together, but I'm not going to go check this out. I don't really like the cinema all that much, and clearly I'm in the minority on this one, but early reports so far kind of point this to be a fun affair. I think the early Rotten Tomato scores has this at like an 85, and it's not one of those astroturfed 85s like The Acolyte received. I can imagine this, receiving universal praise, hence leading to the $360 million global opening. And at least this is happening for this movie, okay? One that is at least being presented as being ideologically free, just simply being a fun buddy team-up film catering to the people that would generally like these types of superhero films. There have been rumors that Marvel has been looking to the horizon, trying to figure out if they can go ahead and right this ship, and if they're going to learn anything. And we've been talking about this for a while, that I kind of think, especially with the recent track record, just doing simple pattern recognition, as people are predisposed to do, is Disney going to learn the right lessons from this, or are they just going to go, yeah, everybody wanted to come and check out the cameos, we need to start stuffing everything with more characters and recognizable faces? No, just tell a good story. Tell an inoffensive story. Tell a heartfelt story. Who knows? Just don't tell anything that puts the message ahead of the film. If you make it, they will come. That they're trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Are you going to scuffle it? Well, let's check this out. Deadpool and Wolverine to tear up the world with $360 million global opening, restoring Marvel Cinematic Universe glory, box office preview. Is it going to? Because we know what the rest of the MCU is supposed to look like heading into 2025. Are you excited for Captain Black Falcon American Man or Captain African America 4? My mistake. Marvel Studios Disney's Deadpool and Wolverine finally opens this weekend, not only further rebounding the post-strike box office to a healthy place, but revitalizing the MCU's brilliance. It's one film 6 months removed from the next release. I don't know, man. That's tough. Okay. Not only, yes, rebounding the post-strike box office. It was only last November that the studio fell on hard times, opening with the Marvel's $46.1 million, $110 million worldwide. So a couple of white boys are supposed to triple your very powerful, very strong female triumvirate. What does that say? The current range for domestic of the new Deadpool movie, directed by Sean Levy and starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, is $160 to $170 million. Okay, destined to be the biggest R-rated opening of all time, unseating the original Deadpool's 132.4. Worldwide stands at 340 to 360, with an offshore start at 180 to 190. Which, yeah, be interesting to see what the final numbers look like. Looking at international comps, excluding China, Joker opened in 2019 with $147 million, like-for-like markets today rates. Okay, Deadpool 2 did $137 million in 2018, and the first Deadpool did $132 million in 2016. What about the domestic $200 million opening forecast from a few weeks ago? Oh, didn't see that, but okay. What's been habit forming this summer is that several movies have been blowing away projections with big walk-up business from Latino and Hispanic moviegoers. What, are you running that whole democratic strategy that they don't have access to computers so that they just have to walk up to the box office? Bigots. That halo effect will certainly be in store for Deadpool and Wolverine. And the other unknown factors in terms of overperformance is how many parents will bring their kids. Well, it's R-rated. I guess you can get your kids in on an R-rated film if they have parental supervision, but okay. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? Because they wanted, we're talking about Disney, and rather, I'll just go with Hollywood in general back in 2023 and 2022, everything post-pandemic. They wanted to lay a lot of the blames of their box office duds at the feet of YouTubers, those dastardly critics that were gaslighting their audiences, that were stoking the fires of hatred and division. You're just going to wonder, okay, with a lot of the early reviews that I'm seeing right now, and likely by the time that you see this video, plenty more reviews have already been made of people saying that it's pretty good, you should go watch it. I wonder if they're going to get any recognition for their contributions, because they sure as hell caught a lot of heat for all of the flops that happened last year. Wouldn't hold my breath on it. I just want to say, let's just go ahead and try to keep this consistent. Like I said at the offing, okay, is Marvel going to end up learning the right lessons from this? Are they going to go back to just simply making superhero films devoid of messaging? Are they going to make them more comic book accurate? Because even Hugh Jackman, I've seen in a couple of different interviews, says, you know what, we resisted putting Wolverine in his yellow costume for 20 plus years. And the moment that I put it on was the moment I realized that, oh man, we made a massive, massive mistake by not doing this earlier. So yeah, if you try to ingratiate yourself with the fans moving forward, you could end up righting a bunch of the wrongs that you ended up creating for yourself in a post-Endgame world. And we talked about the Russo brothers coming back and there being hope there because, yeah, they are responsible for what a lot of people point to as some of the best installments in the MCU. You have the Winter Soldier, you have Civil War, you have Infinity War, and you also have Endgame. They're coming back for Avengers 5, Avengers 6. I think the only thing that's left now is for them to just simply sign on the dotted line, especially after this weekend. They know that they're going to be in for a massive payday, which could potentially be the only thing that's holding up an official announcement, where I'm sure Marvel wants to come out and go, guys, we have the record-breaking, we have the best ever performance for an R-rated film, okay? Hopefully that also lets you know that you can go ahead and tell more R-rated stories. I don't know, maybe try to fix that Blade film. Make it an R-rated Blade film. Boy can dream, of course. Get the right people behind the camera, okay? People who are excited about the MCU. Get the right people in front of the camera, like Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, people that actually like their characters, people who want to do justice to the source material. Is there actually some honesty behind these other reports that Kevin Feige says that Phase 4 heroes will be cut from the next two Avengers films, learning from their mistakes, not making callbacks to failed films that nobody remembers? Because at the time, right, Shang-Chi was an absolute triumph, but who talks about Shang-Chi anymore? What about the Eternals? Are any of that, is Icarus? Well, Icarus ended up flying too close to the sun, you get it? Is the Black Knight going to be coming back? Kid Harington going to be getting the phone call? Or does he not want it? I don't want it. She-Hulk, Moon Knight, any of those other characters that got set up during the doldrums of the D+ show slurry? Are you going to be doing that? Going to be making some callbacks to that? What about Agatha? Because for all of the good work that Deadpool and Wolverine are going to do, you guys are still dropping that at the end of September, right? I just wonder if there's going to be as much pomp and circumstance for that as there is for this weekend. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. I'm just also saying, if you're going to be making some changes, if you're going to be making some positive changes, instead of trying to force these failures down our throats, let's just go ahead and remain consistent, shall we? In the face of absolutely massive amount of costumed heroes currently available to be drafted to the team, Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige says that not all of them will make the cut for the next two Avengers films. Yeah, exactly, because you take a look, there's the original Avengers. That's a great film, by the way, and probably still does hold up. It's been a minute since I've watched it, but as far as I can remember, and it's that's also kind of a hallmark, right? Because how many scenes can you remember from, I don't know, Iron Man 3? I hate that film, so I remember, I guess, maybe a little bit more than most, but Thor: The Dark World, Ant-Man and the Wasp, okay? How much do you remember from that, okay? Black Panther, for as super important as that film was, apparently, how much of that do you remember? I remember a hell of a lot from the Avengers, but who's still available to you? Because the two leaders, Cap and Iron Man, not until Secret Wars can you go ahead and play those cards. Theoretically, Mark Ruffalo, what's he out doing? You can get Renner, Black Widow's dead, and Chris Hemsworth, Well, I guess maybe that was another reason that she wanted to bring in the Russo brothers, because of his connections with them on the Extraction films. But who else is a part of the Avengers? Doctor Strange, more than likely, but he's not even Sorcerer Supreme anymore. You have that two-mom having lesbian portal puncher, America Chavez. You have female Hawkeye, if you want to go in that direction. You have little Florence, pew, being not Black Widow. Oh, but she's also in the Thunderbolts. So we don't know what the hell is actually going on. We got to figure out who is in the Avengers. And once we get that confirmation, we're going to be able to really figure out what Marvel is doing. Perpetually baseball-capped studio head offered the insight regarding the Avengers. Oh my god, and Ironheart. There are so many that you probably forgot, right? Yeah, regarding the Avengers' upcoming roster moves, while speaking to Gizmodo's Germain Lucier in promotion of Deadpool and Wolverine, and how are they going to end up working into the MCU? Because we've also heard reports that, yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be taking shots at Phase 4, but it's mostly going to be, you know, the Fox Marvel films. It's going to be Fox X-Men. It's going to be Deadpool callbacks. Or are they going to weave this into the MCU? Is Wolverine going to be an Avenger? What's going on? Okay. As whether all or numerous heroes introduced in the MCU Phase 4, which this is not an exhaustive list by any means. Okay, you have Monica Rambeau. I'm sorry, that's binary. White Widow, Florence Pugh, Shang-Chi, America Chavez, Black Panther, Shuri, not Black Panther. Ironheart, she has cornrows in her helmet. U.S. Agent, Hawkeye, yes, female Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, and all of the Eternals would be making an appearance in either Avengers 5 or the Secret Wars. Feige admitted that only some of them would have a part to play in saving the multiverse. That's interesting. You wouldn't go ahead and deploy all of your weapons as you have at the ready, mostly because they would just end up doing too much long-term damage to the brand. I rarely speak in absolutes like that, right? And the studio head told Lucier the notion of never ever seeing someone again. We've got Tim Blake Nelson in a movie coming up next year, right? So I never talk in absolutes like that. That must be some inside baseball stuff that I have no idea about. But the truth is, we're going to tell a story in these Avengers movies, and there won't be room for 100,000 characters in it. Then why did you introduce all of them into your connected universe, Kevin? So choices will have to be made, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean you won't see you won't see anybody ever again. Yeah, man, that'll be the next thing to take a look to, okay? What lessons are they going to learn from Deadpool and Wolverine? What is the next incarnation of the Avengers going to look like? And what in the blue hell can we expect from Captain America 4? Keep all of those on the horizon. Keep all of those in mind when it comes to the overall health of the MCU. Because obviously, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to hear all of the shills saying the MCU is so back. Deadpool and Wolverine was peak fire, bro. I just want to see if that same energy is going to be kept for Agatha, or of course it's going to be kept for the slate of films set to be excreted into the cinemas in 2025. I will wait with bated breath. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.